Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of VoiceOverVoices.biz. I'm your host, Earl Hall, where we talk to you, the brand new, the up-and-coming voiceover artist that is looking to start, build, and grow a successful voiceover career. Make sure you check out the website, VoiceOverVoices.biz. I've got a very great guest today. His name is Cory Rhymes. He's a voice actor, and we're going to dip into his story and talk about his beginnings, his gear, and some other things. Cory, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here, man.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Earl. I really appreciate you having me on your show here today. So it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. The pleasure is definitely mine. Well, Cory, what made you get into this crazy business of voiceover in the first place? And how long ago was that you started?
Oh, yeah. So I was in radio back in about 2003. Loved production, wanted to get into voiceover at that time. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much around for me to be able to kind of tap into the voiceover market at that time for myself anyways. And I didn't really know where to go. And so I kind of put it off to the side. It was something that I was considering doing, but I just kind of left it as is. Time went on, went into different careers, fell into a training coordinator position and started doing some e-learning projects for just internal e-learning projects for a company. The lady that I was working with suggested that I become a freelancer. This was back in 2017. And I said, well, what's this all about? And she says, well, let's take a look at a few of these sites. So she named a couple sites for me and I set up a couple profiles. And within a couple of weeks, I was getting some work coming in. So that was back in 2017. And it's just been, slowly progressing over the years as we keep going and keep moving forward. So that was really the start of it. And I got into like getting coaches and setting up a website and just going onto a bunch of different profiles and setting up different things on pay to plays and freelance sites and all that kind of stuff. Right. So my journey is relatively short when all things considered, but I'm been pretty proud of where I started and where I came from and where I'm at right now. So it's been a very fun journey for sure. It's an industry that just consistently gives to people. Especially new voice artists coming in to the industry.
Definitely. I mean, if you put in the work, you're going to get the result. That's with anything that we do. It's all about putting in that work, that grind and don't quit mentality that you hear me talking about all the time. So it sounds like you're kind of adopting that, which is great with that. So, I mean, tell me a little bit here. It's like, I mean, people love talking about their gear, right? The different stuff that they use. What kind of mic are you using in your home studio and how did you go about selecting that microphone?
Yeah, that was a tough one. When I first started off, I was looking at the microphones and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't afford some of these mics. They're very expensive, right? And I started doing some research and, USB mics in the past were not the best quality mics to go with. But as the years went on and technology got better, the technology of the USB mics got better as well. So my very first mic was a Blue Yeti mic, and I landed multiple jobs with that microphone.
Wow.
And it really comes down to what kind of studio or what kind of sound space do you have as well.
The environment.
The environment, right? I mean, right now I'm in an open room. I have no sound dampening panels, nothing like that, right? So you could probably hear a little bit of echo and such, right? But in the booth that I actually have, it's pretty well padded. And so I was able to get some pretty good jobs coming in, which is great. Like anything else, as you continue to grow, you start to invest a little bit more into your business, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I upgraded to a Deity mic. What is it? Deity shotgun mic is what it is. It's a 2S2, I think it is. So it's a fantastic mic. I love it. Little shotgun mic works very well for me, especially.
I've had like one other, I forget the person that was on the show just a little bit ago. They use that same microphone.
Brad Storm talks about it.
Brad Storm. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. He's a really good friend of mine as well. And him and I were talking about this mic. And then there's another guy, Larry Morrow as well. All three of us have the same microphone.
Wow.
We started looking into it actually together at the same time and trying to upgrade our equipment. So yeah, I run off of that microphone. Fantastic mic. It's, very, very simple to use. It's small. It's not like a normal long shotgun mic. It's very short. It's specifically made to go onto like a camera or to be set up in a small booth type area, right? So
awesome.
Which works well for me for sure. And then for the interface, I have a Scarlett Focusrite interface. Love
You
it.
already knew the next question I was
Yeah,
going to
man,
ask, right?
absolutely. We're talking about gear, right? Yeah.
So you're using this puppy
Yeah,
then.
absolutely. Yeah,
All
that's the
right.
one. Yeah, yeah, it's fantastic. It works very, very well. So yeah, nice and easy. That was the thing. Like I'm fairly good when it comes to tech and gear and all that, but I mean, I'm not a master at it for sure. I wanted something that was simple enough that I can plug it in, kind of dial my settings in a bit and go. And this gives me that for sure. So yeah, pretty happy with it.
Awesome. So what's the DAW? Where's the magic happening at? What are we
Oh
using for our
man,
digital audio workstation?
when I started, like most people, yeah, you start off with something free, right?
Yeah,
And I started off with Audacity, and there's nothing wrong with that program. It's a great little
not at
program.
all.
It
Yeah.
does what you need it to do. I ran with that for about 2.5 years. And then I was like, well, I'm going to try out Adobe Audition because everybody keeps talking about it. So I did the 7-day trial. I'm like, man, this is a lot of fun. This is really good. And then the 7-day trial went, and I'm like, well, maybe I don't really need it. And so I went back to Audacity and I was like, nope, I need it. I need to get Audition. It just works. For me, it worked so much better. It was just a smoother process.
Was there something in particular that you enjoyed more about Adobe Audition than
Yeah.
Audacity? Kind of what was that like?
So when I was in radio, the program that we used was called Cool Edit Pro. And so when I started using Audition, I'm like, wow, this is very similar to that. And then I found out that Adobe actually bought that company out. So
I
that's why it
started
looks
with
so
Cool
familiar.
Edit. Yeah.
Did
I
you?
started with that back in
Yeah.
like 2007 or whatever,
Yes.
before
Yeah,
Adobe had bought them.
yeah.
So I knew the interface already. So I just
Yeah.
kept going, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, they have so many options and internal plugins that are already there to help you out as a voice artist. It just makes things just more simplified, I feel. So it looks a little daunting at first when you open it up because you're kind of like, whoa,
Yeah.
there's a lot that you can do on this, but that's just it. There's a lot that you can do on it. So it's again, comes down to that training aspect of things, right? Trying to figure stuff out. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, how long have you been using Adobe Audition now?
Probably about a good 6 months now, maybe a little bit more. Yeah. So yeah, really, really enjoy it. Can't talk enough good about it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
With that. Well, I mean, going into, the last question, and the last question I always ask everyone, if there was a question you have about voiceover that you want me to answer, what would that be, and how can I help?
Yeah. So my question is which way as a new voice talent should we really be focusing on? Should we be focusing more on pay to plays and freelance sites, or should we really just be focusing on our own marketing into things and doing email marketing and such? What avenue should we be starting off at?
Well, here's the thing, especially you've been in for a year now, right? Doing this?
A few years. Yeah.
Few years. So it's like everyone's looking for a new way to do things, which we can definitely talk about. But what I have people do in your position is look where the majority of your work is coming from right now. Double down there to the letting go of the rest.
Okay.
Double down where most of your work is coming from so that you can build that base and build that audience. And then little by little, here and there, do some things with email marketing. Little by little, do some things outside of where your normal work is coming from on a consistent basis. But if you try and do it all at the same time, you'll lose when you have a bird in the hand, which beats two in the bush. You've got a source that is already providing you. So it's about doubling down on that source. I say from time to time, old Chinese proverb, if you chase two rabbits, you catch none. And it's like people are chasing all these rabbits. You're not going to catch any of them. Focus on the one. You're going to get that one. If you focus on it, you're going to get that one. So wherever that work is coming in consistently right now, double the freak down on that and put blinders on and go all in.
Good advice. Yeah, really good advice on that, because so many times when we come into this, I mean, there's so many different avenues that we can go down to try and get work, right? And I mean, I'm all for, putting different, fishing poles and different ponds and all that kind of stuff. But the idea of figuring out, okay, well, I'm getting more work from this site or through this avenue of email marketing. I need to concentrate my efforts on there. I really like that idea a lot. So, because even myself, I've been at it for a little over 3 years now. And it's, you do get overwhelmed because you're like, well, people are getting work over here, so I need to go here now. Oh no, people are getting work over here, right? And
It's
so you
that
kind of,
shiny object
yeah,
syndrome, right? It's
exactly.
really that shiny object syndrome. It's
Yeah.
like my shiny object syndrome is, buying a new mic every other year or something like
Yeah.
that. It's like, oh, I just want it. Don't need it.
You
Don't need
don't
it
really
at
need it, but
all.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. No, it's interesting because like, when I got into the industry itself, I mean, there's so much information out there. You were one of the people that I followed right at the beginning as well. So I
Oh,
appreciate
wow.
everything
Thank
that
you.
you did for myself and
Much
growing my
appreciated.
business. And there's quite a few other people as well
Hmm.
that obviously I followed. And you know, I found that a lot of people were kind of confused even still, right? Like, especially getting into it. There's tons of free information out there and it's great and it's wonderful.
Hmm.
But about, when was this? Back in January, I started up a group specifically called the VO Academy.
Hmm.
And it's just to help out and to support people who are brand new to the industry, people who are currently in the industry. I bring in people such as yourself, other professionals in the industry to be able to help support us and mentor each of us for
Hmm.
the month type thing. And it's just a really, really great community to provide some learning and some coaching, all at a really, really affordable rate as well, right? So
Awesome.
yeah, so I just started that up in January. It's been fantastic. I've had some amazing, amazing mentors come in for the past 6 months here. We're just going into month 7 here, and we're going into learning a little bit about radio imaging with Mr. Rob Reed. So yeah,
Okay.
excited about that. Excited
Oh,
about
that's
that.
awesome.
So
I mean,
yeah,
radio imaging is something else. It's a industry obviously all to its own. A
yeah,
lot
yeah.
more compression involved in radio than
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we got a few guys in our group that are big into, compression and the radio aspect of things. So they're pretty
yeah.
excited about this too. It was one aspect when I was in radio that I was interested in learning more about as well.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to have Rob come in and show us this, a few little tricks and all that. You got a guy who's been in the industry for over 30 years, so yeah, pretty excited
Awesome.
to
What's your web address, or how can people get connected with that?
yeah, so if you just go to Cory Rhymes, VO, so it's CORYRIMES VO at gmail.com. Just send me off an email and I'll send you off the link to find out the VO Academy and what we're all about, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
Awesome.
a lot of fun, man. So yeah, cool. Awesome.
All right.
Earl,
Well,
appreciate you, man.
oh
Really
man, I
do.
definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Make sure
Yeah.
everyone that you get connected with Cory. Make sure you visit his website, send him an email if
Yes,
you're looking to
please.
get some great information on how to get connected with him and what it is that he's doing with the VO Academy, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
The
you
VO
bet.
Academy.
You bet.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you do visit the website, voiceovervoices.biz, where you can hear great interviews just like this that you just heard from Cory. Also, you can book your interview with me as well, and we can chop it up just like you heard me do just now with Cory. And we'll see you on the next episode. You take care.